For a gripping exercise, you can use putty or a small ball, and you just place it in your hand and you grip onto it, squeeze into the putty or the ball, and this is a good gripping exercise to help strengthen your wrist and also your intrinsic muscles of your hand.
Thanks. It's fun.
Okay, we're doing wrist isometric flexion and extension. So I have a partner manually putting pressure on my wrist while I do flexion, and then the opposite way for extension. And this is one of the early rehabilitation techniques to use for your wrist connected to your elbow exercises. And again, this is called isometric wrist flexion and extension. This is an exercise called isometric wrist flexion and extension. You're going to bend the wrist forward for flexion, and then for extension, you're going to bend your wrist back, reverse. And this is one of the earliest rehabilitation techniques to use for your clients that's dealing with the UCL injury. Good. Okay. Wrist, isometric wrist supination and pronation. So you're putting resistance on your hand, and you are going to turn your wrist, supination, and then out, pronation. Supination, pronation. Isotonic elbow flexion. You're going to go from full extension up to full flexion. 3 sets of 10 reps. You can use either dumbbells or a partner manually, or you can use a stretching resistance device. Same thing. Full extension, full flexion. Good. Elbow, isotonic elbow flexion extension. So it's going to be overhead. You start off in flexion, full flexion, and then full extension. Again, this is isotonic elbow extension flexion. Okay? You can use a dumbbell or have a partner manually help you, or use a cable tension band. This is isotonic wrist supination and pronation. The forearm is in a stable position on the table, and the elbow is in a 90-degree position. Supinate the forearm while holding onto a weighted bar, and then pronate the forearm while holding a weighted bar. So we're going to supinate and then reverse pronate. 10 reps, 3 sets. This will work your whole arm. Good?
There.
Oh, it's okay if the book's laying there.
Okay. Well, it's cheating.
Fine. Is that good?
Yeah.
Ready?
No.
Concentric and eccentric flexion with the use of a tension band for the benefits of a maximum load on the muscle. A concentric contraction is done slowly at first. Then the speed is increased to mimic functional activity. An eccentric contraction is done by pulling the muscle into a shortened position, then allowing a lengthening contraction to take place by lowering the hand control Increased speed is introduced with proficiency is obtained. Concentric eccentric extension with the use of a tension band for the benefits of maximum load on the muscle. A concentric contraction is done slowly at first, then the speed is increased to mimic functional activity. An eccentric contraction is done by pulling the muscle into a shortened position, then allowing a lengthening contraction to take place by lowering the hand in control. Increased speed is introduced when proficiency is obtained. So this is extension and this is flexion. Wrist flexion, wrist extension.
Okay.
This is a closed kinetic chain exercise. This is called closed kinetic chain static hold. So you're holding, arms are straight. The body weight is over the elbow in varying degrees for the purpose of bearing weight and initiating kinesthetic awareness in the elbow joint. Hold it for at least 10 seconds or up. It's like on being a upside right plank. Good. This is plyo ball exercise. Closed kinetic chain. You're just moving the ball side to side or up and down. Stimulate your joint receptors. Again, this is called plyo ball exercise. Okay, this is a plyometric exercise called elbow extension. You're taking a ball, and you're just throwing it up in the air and catching it. And repeat. This is called a wall push-up for a closed kinetic chain exercise. So your hands are against the wall, shoulder height. You're just doing a regular push-up like you would be doing on the floor. 3 sets of 10 reps maybe. You do it either that way or in the prone position where you're actually down, back up. This is another closed chain kinetic exercise called the wall push-up. So we're about a good distance away from the wall. Your hands should be placed on the wall about shoulder length height. And you're just going to do like a push-up against the wall. You can do it either against the wall or an actual push-up. You can be on your knees to modify. So prone position or modify. Good. Okay, for plyometric, getting ready for the throwing activities, we're going to start with two-handed overhead throw. So both hands are on the ball. Throwing it into a trampoline, catching the ball. Just like that. And then next, you would want to practice two-handed side throwing. So you're standing side lateral to the trampoline, sideways, and you're throwing it that way. Do both sides. After that, one-handed overhead throw. Instead of two, one. Do both sides. Good. Okay, passive elbow extension and flexion. My partner is going to passively force my arm down for extension, and then he's going to put his hand behind my wrist and I'm going to resist him while he puts my elbow in flexion, and then repeat. Good. Okay, we're using a weight on your wrists to help with range of motion and stretching. It is a long duration, low intensity, passive range of motion using the cuff weight. It will increase your range of motion by stretching the joint capsule while the patient is supine and the arm is in an anatomic position at the shoulder and the wrist. Okay? Okay, this exercise is called the sliding board exercise. It's for your neuromuscular control. And what you're doing is you take two little sliding board discs and different patterns. This will help stabilize your joints, your movements, or your proprioceptive. For your shoulder, take them all against the wall, stand a good distance away, and you're just doing a circular motion, up and down. This will work for our shoulder joint. Up to 10 each direction. Okay, so for stretching, we are going to do the stretch of the bicep brachii. Extend the elbow and pronate the wrist. Bring the arm into extension. Leaning down, feel that nice stretch in the front of your forearm. Good. Stretching the tricep. You're going to flex your arm and use passive force with your other arm and pulling down your elbow, feeling a nice stretch in your tricep. Hold it for about 10 seconds. Okay, hi there. This is for proprioceptive oscillation. This is the best tool I can find to use for this. It is to help reestablish your neuromuscular control. This is for kinesthetic proprioceptive exercise for the elbow and the entire upper quarter. An upper quarter exercise tool. There are 3 metal balls. But anyway, this can be performed in various positions to mimic arm positioning in sport. So you're just, again, supinating and pronating your arm and wrist back and forth until your arm gets tired. We're going to do about 3 sets, 10 reps. That's it. Okay, this is the tool used for, again, reestablishing neuromuscular control. This is a proprioceptive oscillation. It's a kinesthetic proprioceptive exercise for the elbow and the entire upper quarter. So you're just, again, pronating and supinating your wrist and forearm. Do about 3 sets of 10. And that's it.
All right.
Using a plyo ball, you're going to hover over the ball, and arms are open chain, and you're going up, down, up, down. This is V, putting your arms into a V shape. And then for T, your arms are across, extended out, up, and then W. Good. We're going to do the ABCs with your wrists. This is a good exercise for not just exercise, but also stretching your wrist out. You need to like spell your name. Let's go your name backwards. And just go through the ABCs. It's a good stretch. Okay, now we're doing the prayer stretch. Bring your hands together like you're praying. And sway back and forth. Get an extra flexion in your wrists. Hold for one side 10 seconds. And then the other side for 10 seconds. Prayer stretch.